Okay, folks, this is KSM back, and we are continuing with our personal development series. The other time we talked about CVs, and quickly to recap, I told you how important it was to have some 4 elements on the CV. And I talked about number 1 being your address, number 2 being your career objective, number 3 being your educational background, number 4 being your work history, and how you should arrange the work history in a chronological order. This is what we talked about last week. Now this week, what we are looking at is that how effective can you manage this information? Can you arrange this information that can make your CV very, very attractive? Because trust me, when you are writing your CV, one thing that you should have in mind is, how am I capturing the attention of the one who's reading it? How am I capturing the attention? There must be something in your CV that should strike them, that will capture their attention. Okay? I always make the example that you can have 2 people with identical backgrounds. Okay? You have 2 people with identical backgrounds, education, everything. However, one of them will get the edge over the other. How? Because they are able to package themselves much better. And why? Because they are marketing themselves much better than the other one. So now let's translate that to actually how you effectively put this information together. All the 4 areas we outlined. How do we put them together to make your resume or your CV attractive and effective? One thing you should always keep in mind is that always, as you're writing your CV, think about, what am I going to put down that the person reviewing the CV will find attractive, will find catchy? What is it that's going to draw the attention? Very, very, very important. Okay? You realize how I said that you have the address, and then the career objective, and then the education? Well, let me tell you what. I reviewed one CV. The education was the last. Why? Because the person had done so much interesting things in terms of creativity, in terms of things he had been able to do. There were some very interesting things that he had been able to accomplish. He decided to list those first. So when I started reading it and I was getting impressed with what he has done, I was really fascinated with the CV. Until it got down to the very, very bottom, then he put his educational background there. And that is where he had put down that he just had junior high school. And I was impressed. 1, because the way he arranged the CV, it didn't have any effect on me but to impress me. If on the other hand, he had started straight away with educational experience and I put JHS, right then, I would have been like, oh wow, this guy has only JHS. It could have had a negative impact. But guess what? It didn't. Because he put down other important stuff that he had done, and at the end, I realized that his educational level was junior high school. So I was even more impressed. That's what I'm talking about. In a CV, it's about how you impress the person that's reading it. If on the other hand, the educational experience is solid and attractive and can capture attention, whatever it is, then put that first. You see? All you want to do is make sure that you have the attention of whoever is reviewing it by letting them see visually first what is very captivating in your background. Another thing that you should be thinking about when you're doing your CVs is you are not a title. Why am I saying this? People get interested in titles, you know? Oh, I was a deputy director. I was chief consultant. I was a senior receptionist. Title. They threw the title out there. I was a senior receptionist for 4 years, from 19 this to 2000 this, or for 2000 this to 2000 that. I was, they threw out the title. Please, you are not a title. Whoever is reviewing your CV is not looking to hire a title. What are they looking for? Skills. I'm impressed and I want to hire you. Why? Because I've seen your CV and I'm impressed with the skills that you have. I'm impressed with your capabilities. That's what I'm impressed with, not the title. So please, all I'm saying is that let's not just focus on the title, that this was my title, and leave it there. Go ahead and explain what you did, the skills you needed to employ to be able to keep that title or get that title. Okay? So in fact, I'm saying it's not enough to say, oh, I was an senior research assistant. Okay, fine. So somebody else will say it was a senior research assistant, and then they'll go on to explain in bullet points. Like 4 years, I did studies in this and that and that. 2 years, I did research and I majored in this and that and that. 1 year, I did. They explain certain things that they have done. Things that they have done for me to say, oh wow, they have done this before, they were able to do this before, so I have a better idea of their capability. Just putting the title down and not explaining what the capability is actually negative. So please, you are not a title. You are a set of skills, and that is what you're looking to sell in your CV. Another thing we forget too, sometimes we sell the skills and we sell the activity that we were doing. Oh, I was a sales manager. That was my activity. I was an office coordinator. That was my activity. It's not enough. I want to see the skills of an office manager that you used, and guess what? The results. Any CV that doesn't have skills plus the results is weak. What do I mean by skills and results? For example, you can say I was a senior sales manager and I put in place few structures and few procedures for my regional offices. Good, that's what you did. What was the result? The result was that in 2 years, I was able to increase sales from 4 to 10%. Oh, what a good result. You see, so all I'm saying is that I want to see the results of the skills that you have. And this is what you're putting in the CV. Take your time and go through it gradually in bullet points. And if you look at, if you go on the net, you see several examples of CVs and what I'm talking about. So you know what format that you want to use. But all I'm saying is this, that you are not your title. I'm not interested in you because you were senior editor. No. I'm interested in you because as senior editor, you were able to put this and this and this in place. And because of the things you have put in place, you're able to get this magnificent results. Your activity and your result combined so that I can examine and know the value that you are bringing to my company. It doesn't matter that there are 4 areas that you have to cover. It shouldn't be, apart from the name and address, the rest is up to you in terms of how you manipulate and maneuver the information to give the best picture, to put your best foot forward. That is the way to go when you are putting together your CV. A few things you guys should know about good CVs, and I always keep making reference to the net because you see so many good examples of what a good CV is. What I'm doing is just making you aware of what the necessary things you should be aware of. How you utilize this awareness and create a good CV, that one is really up to you, and going on the net and researching the different formats of CVs, okay? So what I'm saying is don't write long sentences. Let them be brief. Check the net and you see how importantly they use bullets to explain things they have done in bullet forms. Short sentences, but understandable, and they go to the point. The next thing I want to mention is also stay away from using I in the bullets. I developed, or I did this, and I. No. You stay away from that in the resume. You don't write I. It is assumed it's your resume, and everything then there is you. So instead of saying I developed, just simply saying developed da. Or set up new structures to da. implemented da 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 da. Never put it, I did this and I did that. It is very elementary. And when you're looking for jobs in very organized professional setups, they don't encourage that I thing. And the last thing is being gratuitous, very exaggerating. Okay? I'm the best so and so and so. If you hire me, I'll give you the ever best result. You know, those things are not necessary at all. If you're going to be a great candidate, if you're going to be an awesome candidate, I should be able to tell that from reviewing your CV. I should be making that conclusion. Oh, wow. Based on everything I've read, this character is going to be really good or great or the best, whatever. Let me make that decision. That's all I'm saying. You don't decide and put it in there that I'm the best. No, it's also a no-no. Okay? So look on the net. There are amazing information you can find in terms of how to structure your CV. All I'm giving you is making you aware of the things that you need to know that goes into making your CV dynamic. On our next session, we're going to be looking at interview skills. We talk about the 3 parts: application letters, dynamic CVs, and interviews. The next one, we're going to be looking at interviewing for a job.